Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is the Falling for Learning podcast special edition because today we have just completed the Little Authors
Bookmaking Workshop.
You cannot see the t-shirts very well, but we do have our t-shirts on because we just finished this event. And so what better place to do the podcast episode than in a not so quiet corner of the Obama Presidential Center. And so we have my partner here. She is the brainchild of this event. This is Wanda Lee Florenstein. And of course, we had her on the podcast before to talk about it. And now we're going to do like a debrief of this event. So how are you doing, Wanda? How are you feeling? How's it going?
Mixed emotions, a full bag, the full spectrum. I think I'm very pleased at the event itself. The parents and the children had a fantastic time, and we know that because they told us so voluntarily. They told us so. They're asking for more. And I believe the children were very inspired and had a new understanding of the different options and access that they have in the world. They have a new understanding that their voices matter. And they have a new understanding that they're in charge. They don't have to just take education. They can demand education. So it was a beautiful experience. The kind of inaugural event, and it was just great. I'm exhausted, of course, because you build up so much energy when you're doing any kind of event.
Absolutely.
That the come down is a real come down.
Yes, I've laughed, I've cried. It's like all the things as you have put this together. And of course, life didn't stop as we were planning this event. All kinds of things were happening and we still had to push on as we're going through. So yeah, just so excited that it was actually come to fruition. Wanda has put together like a bag of goodies for President Obama and the team. And so hopefully they could get those things. We were really, really, really hoping that he would come and be able to be a part of our event, at least for like 2 minutes, but that did not happen. We were told he was on vacation.
Right.
But it was a wonderful event. And of course, we already start planning for next events and expanded experiences for students who are really about building their legacy and really fully realizing their potential as authors and creatives. And so again, that's all what the Falling for Learning podcast is all about, how to empower that next generation and help parents and educators with navigating all of those things that our children encounter as they're growing and maturing.
So to share a little bit more, if you didn't catch the first episode, about what it is exactly. So this workshop, again, is dubbed the Little Authors Bookmaking Workshop, and it's for children ages 8 to 11. And basically, or 12, excuse me. Basically,
it was 8 to 11.
It was 8 to 11, but we had some 12 years.
I feel like mostly 12-year-olds. So, we maybe thought it was supposed to be for 8 to 11-year-olds, but the universe said no. The 12-year-olds, they wanted to be there. And they actually kind of masked their age. Yeah. So we didn't really know that they were 12, but that's who wanted to be there and that's who came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the logo, the logo had younger looking kids on it. And then the 12-year-olds still wanted to come. And so that was a beautiful thing. And it was a reminder too, that middle age is such an awkward time for children because they don't know if they're being grown up enough or if they're still supposed to be in the elementary mindset. So it's a challenge for them in the middle. And I was grateful that so many were in the classroom and that they appreciated it fully and also had a really great time. The thing that was really key to me is that we talk about literacy and work for literacy a lot, and it usually involves reading books to people or telling people to read books, which is in no small feat. or no, no small way is that not relevant. Is very important to children to learn how to read and to read well, but to really like come full circle and make the commitment in the brain of critical thinking. They need to learn how to write.
Yeah.
They need to learn how to express themselves. They need to learn that their words matter. They need to learn that their stories matter. And so that's really the impetus for this event. And they also should know that they can produce
Yes.
and create and not just consume. Right.
Right. And it's all the whole thing about building a legacy is like we're not just consuming someone else's work or literature. We are also creators, innovators, and producers. Right. So that's a really important part, starting them out early, really framing themselves as writers and creators so that they could continue that when they get older. Right. Because we need to nurture that. Kids are naturally very creative.
Thank you. Yes.
And so, I wrote the book, The Rewrite Method and the Rewrite Method Workbook, because I saw that there was a horrible trend where a lot of us as educators and parents were doing things that were systematically making children hate writing. And so this book was all about how to teach them to fall in love with writing, because that is really something that's going to unlock the power of their future. And really about what they're able to do in their own lives, the projection of their own lives. And it's not dictated to them. It's not what someone else has, but what they're putting into the world, their unique voice, their unique contribution that no one else is able to do. Right?
Yeah. The other piece too is that the production side, like when I was little, I wanted to write, but I was afraid to tell people. So I used to make these little mock books and just kind of hide them or even tear them up and throw them away because I didn't want anybody to find them. Because for whatever reason, they would find out she wants to write, and I would hear, "Oh, you can't be a writer," all those things. So I would hide my truths in order to conceal my real passion, in order not to get criticized by it, because I was afraid as a young girl the criticism would just kind of chisel me out of even wanting to do that thing. And obviously it did take decades for me to get back to it because I kept carrying those negative voices with me over the years. But I think that if we get them right at the beginning and they have some efficacy with that and they feel confident in their abilities, then there's no stopping them. And we do know that communication is the number one skill in the world to have alongside of creativity. So those two things have to be nurtured in children before they get shut down by the world.
And that's the whole point of the rewrite method, because that's exactly what I was saying, is that I just saw this trend where people were really making kids, correcting them out of their writing abilities, making them say, well, I don't know what to write. I don't know how to write, because people have been critiquing everything that they write. Like, oh, that doesn't make sense. That's not spelled right. This is sloppy. And so then we're worried, like, why do these kids not work right? Why won't they write anything? It's because we are actually showing them that their writing is not important.
Also, AI is a big factor too now, because most of these kids were born with something digital in their hand. And now AI is doing the thinking for them. So we want to make sure that they understand that they can think and think critically and know how to look at an essay or a story and pull out the components of that and talk about it in a way that they understand it and say it so that they could continue to have themselves. Just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, the point is so that they'll have that strength and that skill in order to continue to build and be able to think and think critically.
We're also going to have someone else join us that was a part of our group. You could come sit.
Why don't you come in the middle here?
You want to sit in?
Or right behind? Okay.
All right. Let's open it up. Okay. And we'll bring this closer.
And comfortable. Should more room up.
The Rewrite Method and the Rewrite Method Workbook are your go-to resource for helping kids to learn to fall in love with writing. It has the tips, tools, resources, strategies, and skill-building activities to help kids fall out of writing hate and into loving to write. Get your book set today.
Yes, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Angela Bradley. I'm the founder and CEO of Nia Imani Academy, which is a tutoring and performing arts program. I was able to partner with Flow Up Productions today for the Little Authors Workshop. And as a teacher and an educator for 36 years, it's really been important for kids to learn also not only to read, but to write well. And that's one of the things that we wanted to instill in them, that their love for reading and writing and to write about themselves and tell their stories. It was just an amazing experience just to be able to make history today here at the Obama Center. And I'm just so excited to be a part of that, making that history today. So thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you inspire your children, your grandchildren, your students to write, because they all have a story that they need to tell, and it's very powerful as a part of their voice, and we need to lift our voice to do that. So thank you for joining us today.
Well, the other thing I want to say is that she almost made me think about my tagline, which is do something today that's going to give your child a competitive advantage. But something that really is important about Angela is that she has this affirmation. Tell us more about your affirmation that you have the students with the affirmation pledge. Yes.
Yeah. So as an educator, to me, it's very important for children to be empowered, to empower themselves, and to speak the things, life into their lives, to themselves, and not just expect other people to say, oh, you're beautiful, you're lovely, just to say that to themselves. So as a teacher, probably about 25 years ago, I adopted a pledge, an affirmation to encourage children to say that they love themselves, that they like themselves, and to say that they're beautiful, I'm special, I'm intelligent, and that I will be all that I was created to be, because I am a leader, an awesome leader. And so it's important for them to know that, and for them to speak that into their lives and not expect other people just to speak positive things about them, but to speak positive for themselves. So, yeah, it's called the affirmation pledge. It was, actually, I got it from my child, one of the teachers in second grade, and he's 40 years old. And she started it, and it was 2 pages, and she had all these children reciting this affirmation 2 pages long in second grade. And I said, wow, that's very powerful for her. And so I just adopted it to fit my academy and to speak as an educator when I teach. Beginning of the class each year, I tell them this is what you need to learn, and it's a part of who you are. So that's what it's about. Speaking life into that.
That's awesome. And so, just to let you know, we are all some people who live in California, but Wanda was the one who, because of her admiration for the President Obama and Michelle Obama and President Barack Obama, she decided to pitch this event, because that's what the Obama Presidential Center is about, not just a museum that celebrates Obama's accomplishments and his leadership, but also a center that's for the community. And we wanted to be a part of that. Wanda had, really had this vision. And then she invited us to be a part of it. And I was so excited to be a part of it, and to be going to Chicago to be a part of this, the new, it just opened like a little about a month ago, a little bit over that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we wanted to be a part of that mission, giving back to the community. And, the students were from the south side of Chicago, and we partners with other educators that were local here. But we did travel from California to be a part of this. And
Yes. Boy, did you travel from California to be a part of this.
Yeah.
The San Francisco Bay Area.
Yes.
With a community called Hercules.
I live in Los Angeles, California.
California is nice.
Yes, and I did fly here, and I have like the most boring flight, like travel. How did you get here? Tell us where you came from.
I actually flew from San Francisco, Bay Area, to St. Louis to a family reunion and was there for 2 weeks with family and friends and extended family. And then I took a train from St. Louis to Chicago, and then I'll fly back on Tuesday and spend time with one of the ladies that was very instrumental in getting the children here, Margaret Williams. Her school is called School of Excellence. So yeah, that's what I did. And so I'll be flying back on Tuesday and going back home, and I will need to rest for 3 days.
I'm the
Now she'll
automobile.
rise again.
And I was the automobile equation to this planes, trains, and automobiles. Right? We did our own version of that movie, Getting Here.
Yeah. So you
'Cause
drove.
I drove from the Bay Area, from Hercules to Chicago, which was quite a trek in slightly less than 48 hours nonstop. So, yeah, the electric vehicle, mind you. So there was a lot of stops for recharging, but it was an experience that I won't be repeating very soon. But I'm still grateful.
Yeah, so we just had to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yes, we were very determined to make it happen because it was the first time, and we planned this before the official opening. There were some delays in like getting some of the things approved, and we couldn't advertise until everything was approved, and so it was a little bit behind the ball. But we learned so much, and then of course we plan to have an expanded version, or next year, and even collaborate with the educators here about not just getting students, but also to help plan it with students as leaders. So we have some things in the works from our time today. So look forward to that. We will be filling you in on more information about that.
Mrs. Obama, we would love to come on IMO to talk about it as well. We know we're not famous, but it's about the children and in literacy.
It's amazing when you love kids, what you're willing to do, and the labor of love that was shared with them today. And it is a labor. It's hard work. It's not easy. So when you want to do something that really will make an impact in your lives, you're willing to make the sacrifice. So that's what we do.
And some of the things that we gave the students, so we gave them our books, and there's 3 of us here, but we have another partner, Kenny Jojo Smith, and he has been on the podcast for last season, and his daughters. So only one of his daughters could come because the other one is doing her own basketball tournaments here in Chicago at this time. But one of his author daughters came, and she spoke to the students, talked to the kids, and really inspired them as well. So the students got her book. They got Kenny Jojo Smith book. I gave the parents and the educators there a copy of my Rewrite Method workbook and the Rewrite Method, the book. And so they got a lot of different information. Of course, I just think something really important like that affirmation pledge of Angela's they had, that was what they took with them. So we gave them a lot of things. Of course, we gave them supplies as well, backpacks. And so
Pens, markers,
index
index cards,
all of
composition book,
yes.
pencil,
And
all the things.
they were inspired to continue writing. They asked for extra paper, extra tools. So when I can do the next chapter and I can continue this process. So that was inspirational, but they didn't see it just as a one-time thing. But they wanted to extend that. And the author that she's speaking of, she's only 9 years old.
Yes.
Yes. We know Camille was published by 9, and she's 11 now.
Right.
That's Kenny Jojo Smith, Coach Kenny Smith's daughter. And then also inspiring other kids her age, which is amazing, right? Yeah. And so take us kind of through the day. Like, what were the days like? How did it go?
So we started with a welcome and a little breakfast snack for those that didn't have anything to eat because they had to be here by 9 o'clock. So it's Saturday and no kid wants to get up and go get one more place they have to go to, on a Saturday morning early. So we wanted to make sure that their tummies were full so they could pay attention. So we met them outside and greeted them and we had a little breakfast snack together. Then we brought them into the room and introduced ourselves and told them why we were doing this thing. And then we gave them instructions on the choices that they had to make for books. So they could do comic books, coloring books, short chapter books, or accordion books. And so there was a variety of the things that they did. And we gave instructions on how to do those things. And they just dove right in, heads down, pen and paper up, and scissors and glue and all the things. They were just busy and they were making beautiful things. And there was a few artists in the room that were drawing some incredible illustrations of nature and plants and animals and people, and a very talented group of children, both literally in terms of their ability to write sentences and also to speak about them with confidence even before having this class. So we just added to that and was able to share that level of efficacy with the other students so they could also be inspired by those children as well. So that was really beautiful to watch. Fully engaged and asking for more. So what else can you ask for if a child asks you for more, right?
So they were becoming, like Michelle's book says, becoming.
Wow.
And she tells her story of life and history of all the things that she, gathered from her family and friends, and even as a child, how engaged she was with school, and even just being able to produce something. It was one of the books that I used to share with my students. That you are becoming. You're not always just there. It's still an evolution. You're still getting and growing and becoming even bigger and better. So
Yes,
thank you, Michelle, for that beautiful book.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we had lunch. The Obama Presidential Center has like a cafeteria, has I guess catering. They brought the food there, and then the students presented what they were working on or what they completed while they were there. As we know with the writing process, it's not everybody's in the same space at the same place at the same time. Some were finished, some were in process, some had a longer piece, someone was doing a shorter piece. And I want to lean into something you said earlier because you're saying they had some great artists. One of the things that are being lost in writing instruction, especially for our older students, is that writing is art. Right. I know that they get tested for academic writing and informational writing and stuff like that, but writing is art and they are creatives. Writers are creatives. They are artists. And so that is something that gets lost when people get really serious about testing and informational writing, argumentative writing. And it's like, there's also the creative writing. There's the poets. There's, the turn of phrase, there's wordplay, so writing is art. And we forget that. I think we forget that a lot of times. And it gets squeezed out of, education when we're talking about testing and all of those things. But writing is art. Our kids are creative. They're artists, a visual artist, a word artist. So
I was telling one of the students that when she was writing, she was using a lot of descriptive terms and words. And I said, that's really good that you're able to do that because you're creating a visual while people are reading. If you just say, oh, I went to the store, but what store? What did it look like? And you're creating it so that it's really artistic and comes out so you can actually create a movie in your mind.
yeah.
If people are reading your book or you're reading your story, they can be a part of it and see it. So it's a moving work of art. Cool. So I like the fact that you said that it is very artistic and encouraging children to journal or to write poems or to just write say what they did for the day. That's one of the things that helps them to begin to write when they are able to just say, "Oh, this is what I did," or make up things in their mind. When we will use the word imagination. So being able to use their imagination to create something that doesn't
Yeah.
exist. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're all like wiped out, tired. We had all these other family events going on as we were doing this. She had her family reunion. It was my mom's 70th birthday yesterday. So
Wow.
I couldn't come a couple of days early. I needed to be there in Los Angeles yesterday and then be here today. And
I
so
missed 3 parties in California for
Okay.
today.
So yeah, it was a challenge. But like we said, a labor of love. We're all wiped out, but we're all very feel very fulfilled and excited to have started this together. And we look forward to future events that we're going to be spreading the love of writing for our students.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Wanda. And thank you all out there. Please remember to do something today that gives your child the competitive advantage.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Tina.